not giving exam and he's not coming, I'll not teach him again. I'll not tell him anything. I expect 45% from him now. 95 to bhul hi jao. Okay, determine. Uh, reported speech will do. Reported speech we have not done, right? So reported speech will do. In English, we have valid and increment. Language will do to the subject verb element will do. And before that, before we start, we were supposed to do homecoming today. Yes. क्या क्या करेंगे? Reported speech we have not done. वो homecoming करना पड़ा. The reported speech? वो नहीं बोला. Subject verb? नहीं. बस आज बस homecoming ही बोला. Okay, उसके पहले I'll tell you a few tips that you have to get used to. How to write. Haunted house हमारा नहीं है. नहीं. It's in Delhi. And ये तो ये नहीं कर पाया. I'll just show you. What's this? I have not paid my bills. Simple, it's simple. This we done it together yesterday, right? We've done the whole PDF thing. A few points that Kale were ready. See, critical analysis of the political history, we can find the important points, what it means. If you read this, what exactly, why T.S. Eliot took a cat, stored a cat, because he was a cat lover, that's not important point, but why? Want a fan? Ask Gavin, he wants the fan? Are you okay with? Oh, yeah, definitely. T.S. Eliot's Skimbleshanks, the railway cat offers an engaging narrative set within the bustling world of the railway. As a cursory glance, it might seem like a whimsical portrayal of a cat. Bustling or bustling? Bustling world of the railway. Bustling those days, train was not so highly jada, only the private jet वगैरह शायद था, and only the rich, very rich people they could afford flight. So train was bustling because even in the 90s, when Air India, there was only Air India वगैरह jet with Air India था, and if we had lots of money, we could take a flight. If I wanted to take a flight, it was very expensive, and only Air India was available. in the 90s. उसके बाद ये सब jet engine वो ये सब आया. So bustling world of the railway, मतलब railway, everybody used to travel by railway. As a cursory glance, it might seem like a whimsical portrayal of a cat's adventures aboard the night mail train. It might seem like that. He whimsically he loved cats, so he portrayed ऐसे मैंने cat का नाम डाल दिया because I am a cat lover. So no real meaning. Someone is whimsically वो टेरिस पे खेलता है, फुटबॉलर भी बनना चाहता है, साइंटिस्ट भी बनना चाहता है, whimsical cannot take a decision. So it may seem like that. But a deeper examination reveals a commentary on the omnipresence and control exerted by Skimble, evoking the image of an overlord who holds sway over his domain. This is the main thing. It tells about someone, a supernatural power. This is very important. A supernatural power that is governing our life. Who is so perfect? We do not think of imperfection of God, can we? We cannot say that God is imperfect. So it is the TSCA wants to tell us about the presence of a Lord, of a God, or the presence of a supernatural power, you can say, or a power, supernatural power, a power, evoking the image of a noble Lord who holds sway over his domain, controls us. A power that controls us, that is a spiritual, whoever we call that. This is why in the name of cat. So from the outset, the sense of urgency and importance surrounding Skimble's presence is evident. The entire operation of the night mail train seems contingent upon him. It depends upon him. As if our life is dependent on God. God will decide what we will do, what will not do. So if God decides, our child takes birth. If God decides, whenever God decides, life and death, we have no control on it. It's God decision, he said. Something like that. You don't have to write on this words, you should do. This is not just a beloved bit missing, but a crucial cog in the machinery. The frantic searches of the guards, porters, and even the station master's daughters understood its importance. When we are in danger, so it is more important than the driver of the train. And because he is God. It's the supernatural thing. When we are in problem, hey Bhagwan Bachalo, what do we do? We pray to him. So same way, the train it's something that they are all asking, looking for cat as if everybody is looking, everybody is depending on the overlord or God for their survival or for their smooth journey. So it is actually a God or a big boss is controlling on that. Usko ek act ke through here shown. As the narrative unfolds, Eliot artfully ascribes a host of almost superhuman qualities to Skimble. Supernatural. Superhuman qualities. His punctuality, the flash of his glass, deep eyes that signals an all clear, and his vigilance in examining passengers all contribute to the aura of an all-seeing overseer. That is God. The Lord. He is not just a mere cat, he is the force, the supernatural force. He said, but we believe in the force of God. Yes. Positive. So it's the force. So it's the force that keeps everything in order, like God, ensuring the world, in this case, the train. The train is a metaphor for the world. The cat is a metaphor for God, so telling us that just the way God controls the world, the universe, same way, TSA wants to portray through the cat and the train, where the train is the Britishers for the Christian. Same way, the train is portrayed as the world, the universe, and the cat is the Lord. Understood? So this is the main thing. If you understand, if you read like this, will be easy for you to understand. अच्छा ऐसे लगेगा ना कि why a cat? क्यों इतना कुछ wrong कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता. But he showed cat first point is he is a cat lover. He had many cats in his possession, and he showed God cat as a supernatural power and the train as the universe. So the power is controlling the universe, the force. Mentioned in the world, the train runs as it should. His ability to watch you without blinking and know what you are thinking further heightens his perception. I'm so something like that. So don't do anything wrong in the world, or your action should not be wrongful action, because there is someone you might hide from us, but you cannot hide from God. Something like that. Understood? So that's cat acts as a force, as a power, watches everything. The passengers' behaviors characterized by their silence and respect when symbol is about and on the move resonate with the behaviors one might expect in the presence of a powerful ruler. Overlord is God or a powerful ruler. So here the ruler is the God or the Almighty. So everybody,
in that train, Skipper is the God.
Skimble is the God. The train is the world, the universe. And Skimble is the Lord. And that's why everybody is keeping God. Doing this thing. So the passengers' behaviors characterized by their silence and respect when Skimble is above and on the move resonate with the behavior one might expect in the presence of a powerful ruler. Here, powerful ruler is God, Uparwala, or Overlord. A Lord is above our Lord, above the ruler. The notion that you can play your pranks with Skimble and that he's a cat cannot be ignored reinforces his dominance. That he's a cat cannot be ignored. So God cannot be ignored. So here, cat, Skimble is a God whom we cannot ignore. We should respect, and we cannot play any prank when Skimble is here. Okay? Furthermore, the comforts and securities aboard the train, such as the absence of mice and the assurance of a neat burn, are attributed to Skimble's influence. It's as if under his watchful eyes, everything falls into place, and any potential for disorder or discomfort is preemptively squashed. So this is what we say sometimes, you can listen with here कुछ होता है ना, मेरे साथ ऐसे कुछ होता है, तो the elder one say जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, you will not understand now, you will understand now. So जो भी होता है, if we are it's furthermore the comforts and securities. So this is told our elders. I am an elder. I tell my children, to all of you, this is because it's God's duty to do look into the comfort and happiness of us. So we should not worry. Believe in Him, and then He will take care of everything. जो भी होता है अच्छा के लिए होता है. This is what He teaches. ठीक है. Now a few questions. I will give you everything before your exam, but this is just for you to understand. So if I say, if a question two parts में आता है question को, what is a symbol? ठीक है. Symbol. So symbol is wait. एक question है ना. Gone to who is symbol? Who is symbol? He has gone to hunt the symbol. What is symbol? So what is symbol? So you will tell what is symbol. That is guard, white. So do you think symbols to दो parts में आता है? Do you think symbol has actually gone to hunt the symbol? No. Why it is it?
Because that space is just used as
No, you have to then use the word. It was used humorous. There is no sarcasm. One word for it is sarcasm, humorous. It's a humorous way to say that he is not present. Is he want to, because if he does not come, he is punctual, he cannot allow the train to be late, but he was nowhere. It was 11:40.
And then
So,
you
in a humorous way, no, chota, in a humorous way, it was written, whatever he had want to catch the thing. But he has nothing to do with it. So this way, concise, and you can take words from the chapter. And a few questions, ये तो मैंने बोला है. What's the whisper? This is, I'm telling you the exact right questions because Sunday, lady came to my house, who's a ICSE examiner and a paper center and a conductor. So I asked, what is the exact way to do? She told me. So, what's the whisper down the line? What's the whisper down the line? And who all are whispering? So, for this answer, I could not take a print. I had to take a screenshot because it was not coming. No, don't say it. There's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the knight is ready to depart, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the timber? So this line is humorous. Mention this. Take it humorously. We must find him or the train can't start. Say, what's the whisper down? This you can write. The whisper down the line is that Nightmare is ready to depart, but Skimble is missing. 2 points. The guards, porters, and the station master's daughters are the ones whispering, searching for it. Who all are whispering? So you will get marks. So there is nothing. So one more addition that I told was wrong. Just before Corona now. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है 339 कीवर्ड आपको लिखना है. You have to write to the point, but you have to take words from the text so that the examiner understands that you have not ratified from AI or anything. You have done, you have read. So these are all words from supernatural power. Why the door opened on its own? Skimble came in. See, so the whisper down the line was that Nightmare is ready to depart, point 1, but Skimble is missing. So without Skimble's signal, it cannot move. Okay. And who all are whispering? The guards, all lips up with the guards, porters, and the station master's daughters are the ones whispering such. ये तीनों character में लिखना है. Okay. Now, if the question comes, is Skimble? Skimble is a cat. 0.
Skimble is a railway.
Skimble Shanks, also known as the railway cat. This is a keyword. His response, who is he? He is a cat, will not give any mark. Okay? So you can also come and say to me, ma'am, it's right. It's a cat. I wrote a cat. But you cannot go to the examiner in ICSE board and say, ma'am, I wrote that. So, Skimble, also known as the railway cat, is responsible for ensuring the smooth operation of the night mail train. You have to mention the cat. He supervises the train, maintaining order and ensuring everything is placed so the train can depart. This, after the train departs, जो करता है लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Before the train departs, he takes care that everything is in order. Then he gives the signal and the train starts. Without him, the train cannot start. So who is Skimble and what work does it does? This should be the answer. Skim short, but everything in order. We are Skimbleshan while writing answer. Perfect. Known as a so. What does hunt the thimble mean? What was Skimble doing at this time? Hunt the thimble is a phrase suggesting the Skimble is difficult to find, as if playing a game of hide and seek. At this time, Skimble was likely busy in the luggage while attending his duties. Here, hunt the thimble. Thimble, the word thimble means the protective guard of the thimble. But here, when they were talking, thimble hunt karne gaya, it means he is playing hide and seek some. But the protected bird is he is hiding somewhere and playing hide and seek with someone. So this should be the answer. What impression do you form of symbol? What way does the poet make the cat a hilarious creature? This is very important. The poet जाना नहीं चाहिए. गया, कहाँ गया? चला गया. Poet makes. See the points. In what way does the poet make the cat a hilarious creature? Hilarious creature, मजेदार. The poet makes the cat a hilarious creature primarily by placing him in an abstract situation. Without him, the railway cat. A cat cannot maintain a train. A cat being the official in charge of a major train like the sleeping car express cannot be possible. Assigning him a complex human responsibilities, this is also important, such as supervising staff, inspecting passenger compartment with such detail, ensuring punctuality, giving, taking all the human-like habits, all you have to maintain, right? Such as having a cup of tea with a drop of scotch, ये भी लिखना है, is inherently comical. This is all comical. The serious and detailed manner in which these very uncat-like duties, like human-like duties done by a cat, described further amplifies the humor, making us amused by the very idea of a cat running a train, very train. So what I will do, I will give you all the main points. If I give you the points, you can write down. So drinking tea with scotch to stay away, talking to the police, waving everybody, or anything you can write.
Maybe this brown tail at the last station.
Last station. उसका भी एक मीनिंग है, उसका भी एक मीनिंग है. Why is उसका भी एक मीनिंग है, बहुत अच्छा मीनिंग है. I really found this, and that lady who came to my house, she told me from where to get this, and I found it very useful. She gave me some notes. That's why I wanted to share. So she gave me this from her school. School notes she shared with me. She told me she will share all the notes with me, and then I that's why I could not take a copy paste नहीं करना. Print out का कैसे हुआ? I just she gave me from her school site, and I had just print screen किया. और एक देखो, also I like these answers are very very difficult. See क्या है, that this we learn, alliteration, hyperbole, these things. So those lines and the figures, identify and name two figures of speech used in this extract. If it comes like this, two figures of speech. So you have to find out. Alliteration भी है, hyperbole भी है. Any two you can find out. Why is it important for Skimble to be on the train? It is important because Skimble ensures that everything runs smoothly. Supervising, keeping order, everything, passengers, keeping the passengers habit, the passengers, so that they should not disturb others, punctuality, all these things. You can write your own points. Why would Skimble need to be very nimble? Skimble needs to be nimble to quickly attend to its various duties, ensuring the train's timely departure and smooth operation. Nimble का meaning क्या बोला था हम लोगों ने? There was a question that asked, there was a question that asked that that says that the last line where he raised his tape and says that we'll meet again or see you next time in the train, उसका भी meaning एक ये है कि I am vigilant, I am always there. So if you are doing anything wrong, I am there to correct you. Just like God. You are leaving the train, but you are not leaving the universe. I am there. So we'll meet again. But I am always there to take care, to see that what you are doing. To be vigilant.
और that will be down.
पता नहीं है या नहीं है जो भी
Afternoon. और कुछ
और नीचे कुछ नहीं है
ये तो फर्स्ट
हाँ और नीचे नहीं है what impression we focus with word. So this also you can write. I will give you the points. He is a symbolic representation of him as a dictatorial thing. Like just like Hitler, that also you can use. A dictator.
My friend's birthday come on Hitler's birthday. और कुछ
Who are they in the second line? Who are they in the second line? They are searching high and low. Who are they? They are searching high and low.
They are the guards. They are the guards, station master's daughter,
Porters
and porters.
station masters. Why? Because they can
Because they have not start without
You can mention it at 11:42 and the train is about to start, but it cannot start because you are stuck. So अभी थोड़ा बहुत आया ना picture. It's about some overlord.
what is the story homecoming about?
Homecoming is about a boy, 13-year-old boy. Rabindranath Tagore wanted to say that 13-year age 30 is an age where the child is not a child nor an adult. So
Teen.
So teenage is the most difficult part of life of life because it's the transition. Every time transition is the most difficult part because the child, neither a child nor an adult, talks like an adult, behaves like a child.
It did not share.
Which one? I'm not starting.
Share screen.
ये तो मैंने just देखा यार.
देखा.
So homecoming करें या grammar करें? Grammar नहीं करना है.
हम प्रेजेंट टेस्ट खत्म कर दे.
पर grammar ही करना है.
हम बराबर के लिए 6-7 महीने.
So it's about the 6-7 महीने नहीं है practice करना है. Homecoming is about a teenage boy who is in the transition period, 13-14-year-old, जो talks like an adult, voice break होता है, talks like an adult, sounds like an adult, but behaves like a child, and he is good perplexed, and at this point of time, it's the duty of the parents to take care of them, give extra love, because the child is he is confused, he is learning the life of the adult, but still he is a child. But he wants to learn so he's in a confused state, and his behavior, he doesn't know how to behave properly. And this is the period when the children, the parents, the teachers, the elders should intervene and show them extra love. Because they become very emotional at this point, because उसको खुद को भी पता नहीं होता है वो छोटा है या मोटा है बड़ा है. It's big or small. It's page number
94.
Rabindranath Tagore, na?
Yes.
Who is Rabindranath Tagore?
The person who imposed the national anthem. The person who imposed the national anthem.
A national anthem, Jana Gana Mana Adhinaaya Jayo Hai, is written by Rabindranath Tagore. And Vande Mataram by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, another Bengali, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, yes. Another Bengali, and Rabindranath Tagore is the first Indian to get a Nobel Prize for literature for his book Gitanjali, that was translated in English. First Nobel laureate, Nobel Prize in literature. So Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1930. Social reformer, not in the field, but by writing poems and writing about social reforms, books and all. In the homecoming, we have the universal themes of adolescence, neglect, responsibility, love, and isolation. Because in adolescence, the child does not know how to behave properly. Uska behavior childish bhi nahi hai, bade jaisa bhi nahi hai. And he looks like a child, talks like a child, and behaves like an old grown-up boy. So everybody, it irritates others. So we should understand a child with great care, love, and softness, what is going on in their mind. And if they feel there's a sense of isolation in their mind because they are not accepted either by the smaller group or by the elder group. In between, which will affect others. So the story is narrated in the third person by an unnamed narrator. It is the story of Koti Chakraborty, whose boyish mischief leads to his being sent away to Kolkata to live with his uncle, maternal uncle, Mama. Tagore pierces the heart of the reader with his depiction of homesickness, rejection, and isolation. The boy's longing to return to the wide open spaces of his village home is metaphorically granted in the poignant closing lines of the story. Both the title and the last line echo his longing. If he's metaphorically granted in the boy's longing to return to the wide open spaces of his village home. Village, we know how it is. It's all open, but he went to Kolkata. It's a city, and it's a city is about brick and cement. So his longing for his village is shown in this story. Why? Home. Koti Chakraborty was ringleader, so this is we don't know who the narrator is. It's in the third person. Third person by an unnamed narrator. The narrator is not known. Nowhere mentioned who is the narrator. Koti Chakraborty was ringleader among the boys of the village. A new ringleader, ringleader. A new mischief got into his head. There was a heavy log lying on the mud flat of the river, waiting to be shipped into a mast for a boat. A mast for a boat. So,
must is the most front-most part. That's a flag.
That's the mast.
No, must is the front-most part of the.
This one?
Yes.
Titanic wala?
Geography में वही पढ़े.
Geography में, okay. Let's see. To be shaped into a mast for a boat. Yes. This part.
Yes. If you are sailing towards there, then that's the part. If you are sailing here, then that's the.
कुछ नहीं किया
किया ना थोड़ा बहुत खेल
तो आगे नहीं सीख किया
ऑप्शन
So this is the mascot of boat. किसने पढ़ाया? See. Where is the mask of what is the mask of a boat? A long pole that rises from the bottom of a ship or boat and supports the sails and riggings. This one. Ha ha ha. Yes. So my drawing is wrong, but my जो विंड को ये करता है ना, विंड को आगे पीछे करने के लिए हेल्प करता है दैट नो ये भी अच्छा नहीं हुआ ड्राइंग बट दिस इज द मस्ट आई सी एंड ड्रॉ परफेक्ट ओके understood so wind blowing ship moving this is the work of must so ये बनाने के लिए the log was kept a must for a boat. He decided that they should all work together to shift the log by main force from its place and roll it away. The owner of the log would be angry and surprised, and they would all enjoy the fun. So it was kept on the shore, and what is decided for the leader of the gang, see, they will all push it and put it in the river again. So it was there to be dried. It will dry up. He will dry the log and then make the mast. But if it is again in the water, then the purpose is not served. So they have decided, and the owner of the mast, the wood log, will be angry and shout at them, and they will enjoy that. And they would all enjoy the fun. Everyone seconded the proposal. Everyone said, "हाँ, चल करते." And it was carried on and must be, but carried, matlab everybody agreed to it. No one said no. But just as the fun was about to begin, Makhan, Fatik's younger brother, stood up, and sat down on the log in front of them all without a word. Just chup chup, he got up. And he was also in the group. He didn't say anything. Quietly, he got up and sat on the log. So if the log is lying here like this, so we have to make this. Name of the ship. So the log. The log, they were about to roll and roll it away in the walk together to shift the log by main force from its place and roll it away. The owner of the log would be angry and surprised, and they would all enjoy. Okay, roll it away from its. So it's easy to roll a log like this. They will roll it away and move it to some other place. but Makhan came and sat on top of it. So when someone is sitting here,
And that's Makhan or Makhani.
when someone is sitting here, is it possible to roll the log? No. Makhan will fall down, no?
That's good. Roll the right.
So, so Makhan just came and sat on the log. In front of them all without a voice. The boys were puzzled for a moment. He was pushed rather timidly, slowly, very softly. He was pushed by one of the boys and told to get up, but he remained quite unconcerned. He was pushed rather timidly. Why? किसी ने उसको जोर से धक्का नहीं दिया because he is the brother of the ringleader. So they were leader की भाई को मारना मतलब he might get angry. Fatigue might get angry. So very timidly they pushed by one of the boys and told him to get up, but he remained quite unconcerned. He appeared like a young philosopher meditating on the futility of games. But it was futility of games. मतलब क्या खेल है, क्या है, चलो भगवान का नाम. So he was as if he was meditating on the Fatigue was furious. Makhan, he cried, if you don't get down this many times, thrash you, I'll beat you. Makhan really moved to a more comfortable position. Now, if Fatigue was to keep his regal dignity before the public, it was clear he ought to carry out his threat, but his courage failed him in the crisis. Now, if Fatigue was to keep his regal dignity before the public, so I am the ringleader, my young brother is not listening to me. My dignity is gone. So if he has to maintain his dignity, he has to do something to his brother, either beat him or do something to show his leadership. So
He has to beat the crap.
whatever. So he has to show his leadership. So he was clear he ought to carry out his threat. What was the threat? That he will thrash him. But his courage failed him in the crisis. His fertile brain was very fertile, however, rapidly seized upon a new maneuver which would discomfort his brother and after his followers and added attitude. He wanted to thrash him, beat him, but then उसके दिमाग में कुछ और आया. Let me do something else. जिसमें he will be punished, punished and there will be amusement as well. So what was that he thought? They will roll the log along with Makhan sitting on top. So rolling भी हो गया और उसको punish भी करना हो गया, उसका leadership दिखाना भी हो गया.
Was he happy or sad to sit on the log?
Who?
Makhan.
Makhan was just to disturb them, was sitting on the log because he never get along well with his brother Fatigue. And he, Makhan was more preferred at home by his mother.
Because Makhan was not telling him.
Not so long. So, Fatigue wanted to give added amusement to his friends by rolling the log along with Makhan, and Makhan will fall down and they will all laugh. So purpose is what is purpose is
To trash him. Push him down. To make everyone happy and not.
no. Purpose is fulfilled. Purpose to punish Makhan, purpose to roll the log, purpose for amusement, everything was
Then
done, fulfilled. Okay. So he gave the word of command to roll the log and Makhan over together. Makhan heard the order. Makhan ne suna hai, heard the order, and made it a point to honor to stick on. But he overlooked the fact, like those who attempt earthly fame in other matters, that there was peril in it. So Makhan, see, this is what he wants to say. He gave the word of command to roll the log and Makhan over together. Makhan heard the order. and made it a point to honor to stick it. Made it a point to stick to what he thought was to sitting on the log. But he overlooked the fact, but he never thought, he did not get down from the log because he thought that will destroy his dignity. So I am sitting here, I will sit here. But he overlooked the thought that in doing that, while doing that, sitting on the log, if they roll the log, he will fall down. He could not assess that. They wanted that, but he could not assess that this might happen. So I will sit here. I will stick to my gun. But he overlooked the fact, like those who attempt earthly faith in other matters, that there was spirit with. So he thought, just sticking to my gun, sticking to my words to show my supremacy, I am actually bringing my own peril, bringing my own.
It's good that it is good.
I'm bringing my own. I'm destroying my own self. I fall down. Oh, so charming. The ones begin to heed the law. Also their might, it was a heavy log with all their might, calling out 1, 2, 3, ho, hiya, ho. And the word go, the log went, and when with it went Marcus' philosophy, glory and everywhere. Marcus' philosophy kya tha? Sit like a saint on the top of the log, glory, I will not listen to anybody, I will sit here, let's see what they can do. All gone. How? He fell down from the log, rolled down from the log. All the other boys shouted themselves forced to like everybody. But Fatick ko to amusement hi chahiye tha na. So everybody was laughing. They were amused. And who felt insulted in this process? Makhan, who was thought he was in his prime self, felt very insulted. But Fatick was a little frightened. Why? Because Makhan was loved by mother and he knew that he will get trash at home, beating from mother. He knew what was coming, thrashing from mother. And sure enough, Makhan rose from mother earth, blind as fate. Mother earth is the 30 he got a blind as fate and screaming like the furies, blind and as fate, as I said, okay. And screaming like the furies. This I have to see what is actually meaning. We have the book. We can't go. See, it's there. Exactly. ज्ञानी होगा तो मैंने नहीं दी 60 odd. Can't get it. What is it? He knew what was coming.
Thrown into water.
Makhan rose from mother earth, blind.
Makhan was thrown into water.
No. Yeah.
Now look at the third paragraph. The log was pushed, then Makhan was thrown into water.
But it's mother earth. The log was pushed, Makhan was thrown into mother earth. It is a typing error. Abhi, write it up. Do you have a pencil? Do you have a pencil? I had, but I don't know where it is now. Whenever you see anything, any mistake in the book, just
Volume 2, page number 61. The water to the mother.
You will see the exact meaning of this. One can knows from mother blind as fate. It's
They are less seats.
हाँ नहीं नेचर की 3 तक हो गया ना so seem to be you said after we finish this we'll start yes that's why revision थोड़ा ये करके revision है क्या scene 3 we have done the revision revision is more important. Let's see what it means. So now when isolation program is important. I want to see what this phrase means. Tell me what it was. Blind as fate. As fate. And then and screaming like the fairies. And screaming.
How can I type it for it?
Like the fairies. Fate and screaming like the furies is a vivid and metaphorical expression used in literature to describe a character who is active or sinking uncontrollably and a sense of unprecedented passion, almost as if possessed by a supernatural force. So you write, possessed by an underline karo, continue ko, overacting, overacting. जिसको कहते हैं. So possessed as if, just write this part. As if possessed by a supernatural force.
अगले पे ये आपको मदर अर्थ वाला लाइन और पूरा आर्टिकल का तो उसी पोजेस by the nature. Possessed by a supernatural.
Only this part. The blind as fate and screaming like the furies is overacting करते हैं ना. वही. As if possessed by a supernatural force. So I'm switching on the fan now, huh? What? It's a metaphorical expression. Metaphorical is expression as it possess. So it is a उसके ऊपर लिखो it's a metaphorical expression. It's a metaphorical expression. Bracket. Metaphorical expression. I don't know why I went out so simply. Metaphorical expression. He rushed at Furtick and scratched his face and beat him and kicked him and then went crying home. The first act of the drama was over. So it was a drama. लगाई गई है लेकिन ज्यादा overactive. Possessed like a supernaturally possessed, as if supernaturally possessed. So it's a metaphor, a metaphorical expression. Okay. Furtick wiped his face and sat down on the edge of a sunken barge on the river bank. Sunken barge on the river, a place its meaning, so you should know it perfectly. Sunken can refer to being submerged or low life, while birch is likely to be unique word not available in standard dictionary. अरे बाप रे क्या बोल रहे हैं ये? Sunken birch is not a standard or common phrase. It appears to be a misinterpretation of combination of two unrelated words. How? Something दबा हुआ birch means something that is coming up. I mean, sunken is डूबा हुआ और birch is ऊपर something that comes up. So, what is why this is standing on the edge of a sunken birch? Edge. So, how it is like this? A place like this. So, sitting over here, particularly sitting over here. So, sunken and protruded a place. He is sitting somewhere like this. कुछ है? Or we need something now? क्या हो? नहीं किया. So you want to eat something now? Or we can finish on here and you can go. Which one food? अगर आया कुछ? नहीं ना? So we can complete. अभी break है ना? So we'll finish fast and we can go like yesterday. On the river bank and begin to chew a piece of grass. So this is the river. This is the river. This is the river bank where he is sitting, and this is the river. See, glossary, bring, litter, mass, trash, glory, nibble. All the words are just for you to write. Who will write? Who will see the dictionary and write? I will. It's B-A-R-T. What's the spelling here? B-U-R-T. B-A-R. So sunken barge is the meaning. You see, it will, you know. Yes, right. Oh. Sunken barge, a flat bottom boat used for transporting cargo that has sunk or fallen to the bottom of a body of water. Understood? What does it mean? Sunken barge is a unused boat that's lying on the river. A barge, a flat bottom boat used for transporting cargo that has sunk or fallen on the bottom to the bottom of a water body. So sunken barge का मतलब meaning क्या है? Tomorrow, next class onwards, bring a pencil. So, ऐसा you have seen, if you see a river, go to a riverside, sometimes you will see the river. So ऐसा flat bottom वाला, ऐसा abundant. Have you seen anywhere? Have you seen? No.
गोवा
देखा है ना?
सी के इधर ही
हाँ,
ओके शिपरेक्स
शिप नहीं है, बोट. ये जो boat used for transporting, this is used for transporting cargo that is left on the that has sunk and is left abandoned
I've not seen it
on the river.
twice, but I've seen it on videos.
Videos वही है. So he is sitting somewhere here, sunken barge. He is sitting somewhere here, and because he's scared to go home, he knows Makan went home, will tell everything what happened to him, and he will get a trash, nice, good trash from mother. So he was chewing on the grass, chewing the grass on the river bank and began to chew a piece of grass. A boat came up to the landing and a middle-aged man with grey hair and dark moustache stepped on shore. He saw the boy sitting there doing nothing and asked him where the Chakravartis lived. But he went on chewing the grass and said, over there, as I told you, over there. Not pointing to anything. But it was quite impossible to tell where he pointed. The stranger asked him again. He swung his legs because he was sitting on the edge, swinging his leg. He swung his legs to and fro on the side of the barge and said, go and find them. And continued to chew the grass as we. But now a servant came down from the house and told Fatik his mother wanted him. Fatik refused to move. Why he refused to move? What will happen if he goes home? Scold him or might beat him because he Fatik complained, the Makan complaint, definitely went on to complain against him. Fatik refused to move, but the servant was the master on this occasion. He took Fatik up roughly and carried him kicking and struggling and in potent rage. So he was stronger, the servant was stronger than Fatik, so he hold him forcefully and Fatik was kicking and thrashing the servant, but still he overpowered Fatik and took him home. And struggling in important rage. What is important? Just in rage or anger that is not useful. It's not working on servant. The servant overpowered Fatik. When Fatik came into the house, his mother saw him. She called out angrily, "So you have been hitting Makan again?" Fatik answered indignantly, "No, I haven't." Who told you? What is the meaning of indignant? The exact meaning, I'll show you. If you want, you can write. Is you have written? You write. You have a pencil, you write. You just write this much. A flat bottom boat used for transporting cargo. That is sunk to the bottom of a body of
What
water.
that means his non-mental level rate.
Useless.
Useless.
The rage was useless. A flat bottom boat used for transporting cargo that has sunk or fallen to the bottom of a body of water. Submerged vessel. You can write submerged. I'm sure we know that's okay, but submerged vessel was also right. I didn't tell you. Now, what is the meaning of this? Indignant. Indignant. Exactly. We get the exact. Rochefort. Angrily. Angrily. So, না আমি কিছু করিনি no I have not done anything this is a Bengali so I told you that না আমি কিছু করিনি in great anger but it also replied in great anger angrily no I have not done anything. Who told you that? His mother shouted, don't tell lies, you have. But it said suddenly, I tell you, I haven't. You asked Makan. But Makan thought it best to stick to his previous statement. He said, yes, mother, but it did hit me. So, Makan ko pucho, maine hit nahi kiya. Actually, the other thing is right. Makan actually hit Pratik, isn't it? But Makan stuck to the lie that he was telling. He said, no, he hit me. But his patience was already exhausted. He could not hear this injustice. He rushed at Makhan and hammered him with blows. Started beating Makhan because he knew that Makhan was telling back. Take that, he cried, and that for telling lies. No, all you for telling lies. His mother took Makhan's side in a moment and pulled Fatik away, beating him with his hands. When Fatik pushed her aside, she shouted out, what? You little villain, would you hit your own mother now? It was just at this critical juncture that the gray-haired stranger arrived. ये stranger जो फटीक को पूछा था, where do the Chakravartis live? He asked what the matter was. Fatik looked sheepish and ashamed, very shy and ashamed. See what is the meaning of sheepish? You cannot. Skimbleshack.
What is the word?
Sheepish. SHEEPISH. Again. Feeling or showing embarrassment because you have done something silly. So here, Fatik looked sheepish and ashamed. He was embarrassed and ashamed. Why? Because this man asked him where his house was. He did not reply properly. So when he saw this man, he was feeling ashamed or embarrassed. It was okay. But when his mother stepped back and looked at the stranger, her anger was changed to surprise. First, she recognized her brother and cried, why, Dada? And her brother, why, Dada, where have you come from? As she said these words, she bowed to the ground and touched his feet. Her brother had gone away soon after she had married. So when she was married, her brother had gone away and he had started business in Bombay. His sister had lost her husband while he was in Bombay. So Fatik does not have a father. Father is gone, dead. His sister had lost her husband while he was in Bombay. Vishambar is the name of the uncle, maternal uncle, had now come back to Kolkata and had at once made inquiries about his sister. He had then hastened to see her as soon as he found out where she was. Because he did not see her sister for a long time. After she got married, he did not see him. So the moment he came to know where sister lives, he came to meet her. The next few days were full of rejoicing. The brother asked after the education of about the education of the two boys. He was told by sister that Fatik was a perpetual nuisance, a constant nuisance, a disturbance. He was lazy, disobedient, and wild. But Makan was as good as gold. So this is what we say. I say that there was a disparity. Mother loved Makhan more than Fatik. Makhan is like gold. as quiet as a lamb and very fond of reading, Bishop kindly offered to take fatigue off his sister's hands and educate him with his own children in Kolkata. Sister brother was very Nagpur, so he thought that his sister is sister because of two children. One is good, one is not good. So he offered that he will take fatigue to Kolkata along with him and along with his children, he will educate fatigue. This is the turning point of the story. Turning point comes here. Before that, Pratik was very happy. So the widowed mother readily agreed because she was finding it difficult to manage Pratik on her own. With his uncle, when his uncle asked Pratik if he would go to Kolkata with him, his joy knew no bounds, and he said, "Oh yes, uncle," in a way that made it quite clear that he meant it because he stays in a village, and every child, if someone tells me that do you want to see Hollywood, I would say yes, definitely. Same way, he was asked, do you want to see go to Kolkata? So readily, a small child will always say, mujhe jana hai, mujhe Kolkata dekhna hai, because he was curious. It was an immense relief to the mother to get rid of fatigue. She had a prejudice against the boy, and no love was lost between the two brothers. So she had a prejudice that the mother that he fatigue never liked Makhan, and there was no love between the two brothers. She was in daily fear that he would either drown Makhan someday in the river or break his head in a fight or run him into some danger or other. So because she thought that the brothers, they could not love each other, so she was in a fear that Fatick will do harm to Makhan either by drowning him in the river or beating him or breaking his head, something like that. At the same time, she was somewhat distressed to see Fatick's extreme eagerness to get away from the house. She was somewhat distressed to see Fatick's extreme eagerness to get away. So she did not like Fatick, but then she was disturbed to see that Fatick wanted to go away from the house. That is a very disturbing thing for a mother to feel that child does not love her. So she understood that Fatick wants to go away from the home. That's a clear indication that he did not love his mother. So for a mother, it is very distressing or disturbing. Fatick, as soon as all was settled, kept asking his uncle every minute when they were to start. Kab jayenge, kab jayenge, kab jayenge. He was on pins and needles all day long with excitement. Pins and needles. Right? Pins and needles, exactly. Needles. Needle. Pins and needle refers to a sensation of tingling, prickling, or numbness. His feet was tingling to run to Kolkata, go to Kolkata. ये medical हम नहीं पढ़ेंगे. We will read this. That a sensation of tingling sensation. जो it's okay. We understood. As soon as possible, he wanted to go there. Anxious, nervous, because you are waiting to see if something happens the way you want. So the way he wanted to see Kolkata, because he knew that Kolkata is a city of joy, he will go there, Raja ban jayega. So he was always in excited state, and every now and then asking his mother, his mama, uncle, when kab jayenge. Pins and needles all the way, anxious, long with excitement. They awake most of the night. He bequeathed to Makhan in perpetuity his fishing rod he gave. Liquid मतलब आज से मेरा throne जो है, मेरा ये सब जो है, it belongs to you. Giving. जो जैसे वो हम throne liquid करते हैं ना, the next king, liquid to Markan, parted with all his precious things and lay in perpetuity his fishing rod that was very precious to him, his big kite and his marbles, all he gave to Markan. Indeed, at this time of departure, his generosity towards Markan was unbounded. There was no lack of generosity towards Markan. When they reached Kolkata, now they started from Kolkata. They reached Kolkata. But he made the acquaintance of his aunt for the first time, saw his aunt for the first time. She was by no means pleased with this unnecessary addition to her family. Aunt was not at all happy because she has to take care of his children and one more addition. She was not at all happy. She found her own 3 boys. She had 3 boys, quite enough to manage without taking on anyone else. And to bring a village lad of 14 into their midst was terribly upsetting. Vishambar should really have thought twice before committing such an indiscretion. So aunt was not at all happy to see Pati because she already has 3 children to manage. One more addition, that to a village boy who does not know the etiquette of a town was difficult to manage. In this world of human affairs, there is no worse nuisance than a boy at the age of 4. Can it underline this? Very important word. In this world of human affairs, there is no worse nuisance than a boy at the age of 14. That is what people think, because I told you, age of 14, a boy, not a child, not an adult. Sometimes behaves like a child, sometimes behaves like a talks like an adult. So he does not know, he is confused, neither an adult or transition period, and they create a nuisance in the house because people think he is old enough to behave like an adult, but actually he is not an adult. So बात जो करता है ना, वो बड़ों के जैसा करता है, लेकिन काम जो करता है बच्चों जैसा करता है. And that creates a confusion and they are not liked with anybody. He is neither ornamental, neither knows how to speak because he is from a village and a 14-year-old confused boy, nor useful. It is impossible to shower affection on him as on a little boy because little children are always loved, but a 14-year-old boy you cannot show love because of his action, and he's always getting in the way. If he talks with a childish lisp, देखने में बड़ा है 14-year-old, but बच्चों जैसे बात करता है, childish lisp. पापा मुझे चॉकलेट दोगे, childish lisp. बच्चे जैसा, है ना? बच्चे कैसे बात करते हैं? नहीं पापा मुझे जाना है ना, this child like. He's always, if he talks with a childish lisp, he is called a baby. अरे तो इतना बड़ा हो गया, पेड़ जैसा बड़ा दिखता है, बच्चे जैसा बात करता है. So this is one point. And if he answers in a grown-up way, he is called impertinent. अगर answers in a ordered way, impertinent. IMPER, IMPER. TINENT. Oh, only important. Not showing respect to somebody. बोलते हैं ना कभी कभी at this age, your age, कोई भी कुछ बोलता है ना तो feel like giving logic. Something that does not fit to your logic, you tend to say. You do not understand that to an elderly man, always we should not show them logical fight with them or tell them something that they may not like. A 14-year-old boy, if he says something like an adult, he is unruly, if he talks in a childish list, he is child. So वो करे तो क्या करे? बड़ों जैसा करता है तो उसको होता है कि why you are acting like a baby boy, why you are बात क्यों कर रहे हो, when I say something like why you are क्या करते argue कर why you are arguing with me, and बच्चे जैसा बात करता है, लॉलीपॉप मांगते हैं, बोलते हैं तेरा भी लॉलीपॉप खाने का उम्र है क्या, बड़ा हो गया. So this is the confusing state of 40. So a 14-year-old boy, how he is, this is very important to write in your exam. It comes in your exam. So these points I'll give you. What is the nuisance of what is the difficulty of a 14-year-old boy? If he talks in childish list, he is not liked. He is called a baby. And if he answers in a grown-up way, he is called impertinent. Impertinent is कहाँ चला गया, ये क्या क्या? Not showing respect. Not showing respect. Impertinent. In fact, the talk at all from him is, in fact, any talk at all from him is resented. Any talk he says is, तेरे को कुछ नहीं आता है, stop talking, listen, they are countered. Then he is at the unattractive growing age. जैसे थोड़ा थोड़ा बियर्ड आया, शेविंग शुरू नहीं किया, so it's in a लंबा भी नहीं है, छोटा भी नहीं है. So sometimes they tend to, build muscle, grow fat. Sometimes they become thinner. So look-wise also they are not so pleasant, unattractive. He grows out of his clothes with indecent taste, and जो कपड़े हैं वो भी छोटा होने लगता है. So that is also a botheration for the parents, because not your parents, privileged parents, because if the shirt is every year it's becoming shorter, they have to buy new ones. That is also moderation. Child is growing with indecent taste. His voice grows hoarse. Voice change hota hai and breaks and quavers. His face grows suddenly angular inside it. It is taking shape. The face. It is easy to excuse the shortcomings of early childhood, but it is hard to tolerate even unavoidable lapses in a boy or 14. So a child, अगर कुछ भी नहीं कर पाता है, तो it is excused, छोड़ दो, बच्चा है. But a 14-year-old boy, if he cannot do something, उसको बोलते इतना बड़ा हो गया, ये भी नहीं आता है. But the same word, if a child cannot do, he is excused. बोलते छोड़ तो बच्चा है. But 14-year-old अपन नहीं कर पाता है, बोलते हैं इतना बड़ा हो गया, पेट जैसा दिखता है लेकिन काम नहीं आता है, काम नहीं करता है. So this is the difference. See my drawing, I'm so proud. So मस्त में इधर से वेट धक्का मारता है, उधर से वो मूव करता है. That is the work of a must. And see the log, and see Makhan sitting on top. And see Makhan का जो face है, exactly like a saint, जैसा meditate कर रहा है. Without, makes no difference. उसको चेहरे पे लग रहा है ना, उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. And ये तो कमाल का ड्रॉ है. But it is not sitting on top. आप ड्रॉ करो तो कोई को, कटिंग को, on top. Sitting there. On top of you. Well, not you. He was sitting there and ऐसा कर रहा था. He was sitting here when Vishambar delivered and Caleb का जो ये है, उसमें वो आया, आके Vishambar asked. He was sitting with legs on both the sides. सारे लोग फ्रॉक पहन के भी बैठ रहे. Frock pant. So he was sitting like this. And Vishambar ये एक boat से आया and came here, asked, this is Patik. And Patik was sitting on the porch and doing what? Chewing grass. So he came, Vishambar came, इधर धोती पहना हुआ Vishambar आया and asked Patik, What? Whose house? Chakravarti's. Patik Chakravarti. Where the Chakravarti's house was. And Patik replied, kya? There. Was the reply satisfactory? No, it was not satisfactory. इतना color, इतना अच्छा drawing करके मैं दिखा रही हूँ, biology जैसे पढ़ा रही हूँ, so you will never forget. So कौन सा board पे चढ़ के आया? The Chakravarti, the Vishwambar Chakravarti came by a, don't write the exam, came by a boat and he was sitting on the barge chewing grass, asked him whether Chakravarti's leave. So to which Patti gave a reply which he could not understand. He asked twice. He did not reply. And in the meantime, a servant came and forcefully took Patti to his house. Now, the most important part is what happened with Patti in Kota. And how a 14-year-old boy is treated, not in Kolkata, treated everywhere. When he talks with elderly people, he is neither unduly forward or else so unduly shy that he appears ashamed of his very existence. The lad himself becomes painfully self-conscious. Why? Because when you are criticized every time, body shaming होता है आपका. Will you not be conscious, self-conscious? आपको अगर हमेशा body shaming होता है, तू मोटा है, तू छोटा है, तू नाटा है, तू ये है, वो है, तू ये कपड़ा पहनता है, तेरे को क्या दिखता है? So every time someone is body shamed, the child becomes shy and self-conscious. मुझे देखते उनको बुरा लगेगा. So self-conscious हो जाता है, painful, and that is very painful. When he talks with elderly people, he is either unduly forward, either unduly logically बात करता है, नहीं तो feels shy to say anything to that person. Yet it is at this very age when when in his heart of hearts, a young lad most craves for recognition and love. It is at this age when a 14-year-old child is confused, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what to speak, doesn't know how he's looking or she's looking. That is the point of time when they need love the most, pampering the most. You are growing up, that's why your face is becoming triangular. You are growing up, that's why you are looking fat. You are growing up, that's why this is happening to you. So this is the age when they need absolute support from their parents and love, which Poti never got even at home, neither at unsold. Did he get love? No, one. And he becomes a devoted slave of anyone who shows him consideration. And his speech may, ye time may, if anybody shows love to a child, the child becomes slave to that person. So, जो भी बोलते हैं, he is so becomes so thankful to that person for showing love. उसके पीछे पीछे घूमता है, उसको भगवान मानता है. But none dare openly love him, for that would be regarded as undue indulgence and therefore bad for the world. But no one loved Patti because सबको लगा ज़्यादा pampering दिखाएंगे, लाड प्यार दिखाएंगे तो बिगड़ जाएगा. So that was their notion. So no one showed love to Patti. So what with scolding and chiding, he becomes very much like a stray dog that has lost his mother. So he was always treated like a stray dog. What we do to a stray dog? Shoo, go. कोई ये मारता है. So he was actually like a stray dog, roaming around from street to street, from here to there, craving for love. No one loved him, and everybody treated him in a bad manner. For a boy of 14, his own home is the only paradise. So his own home in his village was his only paradise, because there at least he has his own home and he can be the ringleader in his own village. So it is his turn. Though mother always scolded him, but still now coming to Kolkata, he understood that his home was his paradise. To live in a strange house with strange people is little short of torture, when the height of bliss is to receive the kind looks of women and never to be slighted by them. Height, kind look of aunt was a bliss for her. He has always craved for the the love of his aunt, which he never got. I'll stop here because it's okay. If you ask anything, anything that it will be tough for you. All right. Good. Too much of Calvin practice already. थोड़ा practice करना है.
And what about the people that work on animals?
That paper, that the person who sends back will come in the coordinator was absent. It's absent. So I could not give it to the board. It will come to you through board. What? Continue.
It depends.
It's okay. Continue. Continue. So before that, I'll just erase this. Do you like the story?
Yes.
The story is basically about who? Who is the main character?
Pratik,
Pratik. What was his age?
40.
So, can you tell me what happens at this age?
At this age, the adolescents show up because changing their emotions, attitude, the way of talking, the people they live with, they think that they have become adults, but that's the age when parents should be
They are in the transitional age where
transitional age, which is hard for us to be compatible with people. If we are with people with if we are with people who are too high in age, we should be in a age group which we are compatible.
they can behave like a child, they will be criticized. If they behave like an adult, they will be criticized. So that was the nuisance of this
Behavior should be controlled.
Behavior cannot be controlled. People should understand. The other people, the child will not, 14-year-old child will not understand anything. Because उसका तो transition चल रहा है. The people around the child should understand, should show care and give care and love to that child so that he remains calm. He understands that what the change is coming in his body and mind. And what she craved for at aunt's place, the love of his aunt, the loving look of his aunt, which she did not get. It was anguish to Pratik to be the unwelcome guest in his aunt's house, despised by this elderly woman never loved him, and slighted on every occasion. On every occasion, जो भी करता है, he was used to get scolded. If she ever asked him to do anything for her, he would be so overjoyed that he would overdo it. If she ever to please him, if she asked anything, bring a glass of water for me, Pratik would be so overjoyed to do the work for her. Why? Just to get a little bit of love from that lady, so that lady will love him. He would be so overjoyed that he would overdo it. ज़्यादा करेंगे, एक गिलास बोलेंगे तो 2 गिलास लाएंगे. And then she would tell him not to be so stupid, but to get on with his lessons. and then she would stay. ज़्यादा करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Go and study. The cramped atmosphere of neglect in his aunt's house oppressed Pratik so much that he felt that he could hardly breathe. The atmosphere was so cramped, not the house, not the here cramped does not mean a small house. The atmosphere means always कोई किट करते कैसे लगेगा? You feel claustrophobic, you feel difficult to breathe. So that was claustrophobic for Fatih because he was the unwelcome guest there. So much that he felt that he could hardly breathe. He felt claustrophobic. He wanted to go out into the open country and fill his lungs and breathe freely. He wanted to go home, his village. But there was no open country to go to. Surrounded on all sides by Kolkata houses here, there was no open place to go to. There was no open place, all brick and cement. Surrounded on all sides by Kolkata houses and walls, we would dream night after night of his village home. He would, not we would. See here, either be typing error. We would, it's he would. He would dream night after night of his village home and long to be back there. He remembered the glorious meadow where he used to fly his kite all day long. Meadow is a what is a meadow? A garden or a field or a field where he could fly his used to fly his kite. किसको लेके आया kite and everything?
To his brother.
To his brother.
Yes, okay.
Fly his kite all day long. The broad river banks where he would wander after the livelong day singing and shouting for joy. The narrow brook. So what was the enjoyment? How was the country life versus the village life? So you can tell this. There were broad river banks where he could wander lifelong, singing and shouting for joy. The narrow brook where he could go and dive and swim at any time he liked. Brook is what is brook? Brook is the river is a big one and small. It's opening. Children are not allowed to swim on the river. River is a big one and small opening. So the water is less here. They were allowed to do their swimming and everything here. They were not allowed to be here because there is much depth here. There is no depth on the brook. It's an opening from the cutoff from the main river or sea. That's a brook. Okay. 8:13. Still 8:35. So you all said I wanted to stop. Now when you want to stop, I'll stop. Otherwise I will continue. Now but if you don't say stop, I'll not stop. So okay, Skimble. If you say Skimble says stop, I'll stop. Okay. So brook is a small part of the main river. जिसको क्या कहते हैं? जैसे अरेबियन सी का ये ब्रूक होता है ना, अरेबियन सी का एक्सटेंशन होता है ना, वाशी the Vashi Sea.
Red Sea.
Huh?
Red Sea.
No.
Mediterranean Sea.
No. Arabian Sea ka, the sea that we see in Navi Mumbai, that is a brook, that is a portion of the sea. छोटा सा opening से sea water आके it's accumulated in a place.
Inland.
Something like that. Yes, inland. Mini seashore. The mini seashore that is there in Vashi.
Inland sea.
That is the water. That is backwater sort. So they were allowed to the brook. They can swim there.
They can stop at 8:20.
Up to you. If you say 9:20, I can be
8:20.
okay. So ये सब वो याद कर रहा था, क्या याद कर रहा था? विलेज का fly kite all day long, the glorious meadow, the broad river banks where he would wander about and the lifelong day singing and shouting for joy. He was so happy. The narrow brook where he would go and dive and swim at any time in life. He thought of his band of boys, companions, over whom he had his spot, over whom he had his absolute power through them, and above all the memory of that tyrant mother of his, he thought that he was missing his mother. Though the mother was tyrant, used to beat him, but still he was thinking of his mother, who had such a prejudice against him, occupied him day and night, who had just a prejudice against him, who was prejudice that Fatigue was too naughty and wanted him to harm his brother. That was a prejudice. That was not true. What is a prejudice? I have a prejudice that if I sneeze, I should not go out. It's a अंधविश्वास टाइप अंधविश्वास नहीं है ऐसा एक झूठा विश्वास था कि
अंधविश्वास
prejudice. Unreasonable feeling of not liking or trusting someone. Biased based on something, race, religion. So I said the unreasonable feeling, not the vishwas. What was the unreasonable feeling of the mother? He might drown or break his head. A kind of physical love like that of animals, a longing to be in the presence of the one who is loved, and inexpressible wistfulness during absence, a silent cry of the inmost heart for the mother, like the lowing of a calf in the twilight. This love, which was almost an animal instinct, agitated the shy, nervous, lean, uncouth, and ugly boy. No one could understand it, but it played upon his mind continually. This line cannot be said so fast. We have to take time and we have to understand. Like you have a dog, pet dog. So the moment you enter the house, the way the dog comes to you, must be petted. The moment the dog comes to you and jumps on your lap and wants that physical love from you, same type of love he wanted from his mother. Let's stop here now because this part we have to I have to tell you extensively. Extensive. वैसे दो मिनट है, you can sit here. You want to see yourself in the mirror for a while before going home? देखना चाहते हो अपने आप को? बंद कर लिया, देख लिया, करें, बाहर निकल लिया. I've seen you once read. करो, कर लिया, नहीं करना है. बंद करो.
Yes.